Welcome to CS165. So, we are on our third week and hopefully naging okay naman yung experience nyo from week 1 and week 2. For this week, we will be discussing about SQL. So, as you can see, I'm creating a new video because I was worried that medyo mahirap siyang intindihin. Actually, ako nung inaaral ko, medyo nahirapan din ako intindihin. So, I'm creating a video para ma-review ko rin yung several concepts and then ma-discuss ko din sa inyo yung mga important points for your exam. Okay, so I think we can start. So for the overview of topic, para sa week 3 natin, so this is an introduction to SQL. So we will mainly discuss two major components of the SQL. So yung SQL is a structured query language, although yung initial name niya is parang structure query, parang English language kasi meant siya to be a natural language parang formalization to get the data. So, naging structured query language siya due to ISO standardization. So, two yung main components ng SQL, the data definition language and the data manipulation language. And ito mainly yung focus ng week 3. For the DDL part of SQL, ito yung mga parts ng language wherein you can specify the data type, you can create the actual schema or you create the table ng isang relation, and then you can also specify the integrity constraints like specifying the primary key, the foreign key, kung pwede ba ang null dun sa attribute na yon, and as well as updating yung actual tables like inserting or deleting a row or a record or a tuple, adding and deleting a column or an attribute. So, kapag na-create mo na yung table, marami ka pang pwedeng magawa sa kanya like adding, deleting, or actually dropping the table. Pero if published na to somewhere and deployed na siya at ginagamit na to ng mga apps and other software na pwedeng hindi na aware si database manager na yung pinagagamitan tong database na to, hindi na ideal na masyadong marami yung pagka-add and delete ng mga attributes or pag-change ng database schema, as well as yung pinaka-nakakatakot na pag-drop ng table pagka ginagamit na yung database. So, yung main part specific to for designing the database. So, initial na setup ay gumagamit ng data definition language. However, pagka mainly ginagamit na yung database, mostly ang gagawin na lang ng majority ng users is to manipulate the actual data in the database. So, yung pinaka-important lang na maggamit na lang sa DDL is inserting and deleting a record. Pero yung actual querying, like reading, processing the data from the database, data manipulation language na yung gagamitin. So, start tayo dun sa specifying the data type. So, remember nung previous na lab exercise ninyo, you specified the data type for the pets table. You specified na yung primary key niya is character, varchar yung iba, and then these are the basic data types na pwedeng magamit, but not limited to this data types lang. In fact, mas marami pa yan if you go to the link na provided dun sa lab guide ninyo. May few concepts na important dito. First concept ay the main difference between character and varchar. So, for character, fixed yung length niya. And maximum na dami ng character in char n ay n. And then, sometimes, mas mababa doon yung ginagamit natin na i-store doon sa database. So, ang ginagawa ng database is to pad empty spaces doon sa character. However, for varchar naman, variable yung length niya. So, hindi niya kailangang mag-pad ng empty spaces dun sa data natin. Okay? So, yung int and small int naman, the difference ay yung possible values na pwede mong ma-store. Kasi mainly kung titingnan nyo, babalik kayo sa data structure component ng database, sa pinaka nasa ibabang level nito ay data allocations lang din naman. So, ginamit lang itong int, small int, numeric, etc. na to para magkaroon ng higher level na abstraction yung pag-allocate ng data. So, kung alam nyo na yung content ng data nyo, hindi naman lalagpas ng ganitong value, better na mag-specify ka na ng smaller yung range na kaya niyang tanggapin. So, for example, ang concept din na important ay yung for numerical data. So, merong na-introduce na precision and scale. So, pupunta tayo sa next slide for this. Meron tayong two concepts na na-introduce, yung precision and scale, specifically for numeric data types. Pag sinabing precision, it's the total number of digits na kaya niyang malagay doon sa data type na yon. And then, the scale naman is the number of digits after the decimal point. So, for example, dito, numeric 3-1, we have a precision of 3, allowed ka hanggang 3 digits. Tapos, ang scale mo ay 1. So, hanggang isa lang yung pwede mong ilagay dito sa ating after the decimal point. So, kunwari, meron akong data na 1 to 3.4. Hindi yun pwede. Kahit na parang isa lang naman yung nandun sa kabila, yung nasa after ng decimal point, kasi gumamit na ako ng 4 na digits. The other way around, meron tayong, kunwari, 1.23, although 3 digits lang siya, hindi na rin pwede kasi lumagpas na tayo dun sa scale. So, yun yung concept ng precision and scale. Like I said a while ago, marami pang other types of data. And it depends on the different implementations of SQL. So, specifically for my SQL, ito yung mga different data types pa na pwedeng magamit. And usually, pinag-iisipan nito during the database design. And you need to use it as part, you need to use yung DDL part ng SQL to specify this data types dun sa data na i-define natin. So, it depends din dun sa application na gagamitan kung ano yung purpose. For example, kung mga scientific application yung gagamit ng data, usually yung mga high precision, high scale yung mga data type na ginagamit. However, kung count lang naman mainly, so integers yung ginagamit. Pero pag money, high precision and high scale. Especially, hindi na masyado pala sa scale but high precision. So, kung titignan nyo yung mga other, parang database implementations, nagkakaiba na lang sila ng kaunti. Minsan, sa convention na lang yung pinagkakaiba nila. So, I think okay lang to start with the MySQL data type. So, di ba, nagsubmit na kayo ng lab exercise number 2 ninyo, and you submitted a file na .sql file. Pag sinilip nyo actually yung loob ng .sql file, it contains DDL languages and may mga specific keywords siya like yung create table, ganyan. So yung tinik-tik nyo sa GUI, ganyan, na mag-create siya ng table at mag-specify siya na ito yung mga attributes ko. In fact, sa loob nun is a code na pwedeng ma-run. So, ang laman nun for creating the table na pets ay yung create table pets, tapos meron siyang attributes na pet ID, ito yung data type, pwede ba siyang maging null and hindi. Another thing that you can specify ay yung pag-specify ng primary key. So, remember, para may button lang dun for the pet ID. Dito, i-specify niya na si primary key ay si pet ID. So, parang ganun. And then, yung pag-import nyo ng record using the JSON file, tumatawag lang din siya ng DDL command na insert into this table called pets, yung mga values na to. So, parang sequence lang yan nung kung paano yan na-read mula dun sa JSON file. So, ganyan, mag-insert ng record dun sa, gamit yung DDL commands. Aside from inserting records, may katawag tayo, diba, na integrity constraints. And one way to to specify yung foreign key ay yung foreign key na command tapos department name, let's say, and then it references the department table. So kung babalikan nyo yung example schema natin before, meron tayong two tables, instructor tsaka si department. However, merong isang attribute dito which is the department name na foreign key, and this foreign key comes from the department. So, yung arrow na to is represented using this line dun sa code. So, you specify that department name is a foreign key and it references a table na pangalan ay department. So, ganun ganun siya sa SQL. Okay? So, mainly that's for the DTL part. For the data manipulation part naman, medyo maraming concepts na na-introduce dito. Like, una, syempre yung basic query. Na-introduce dito yung keywords like yung select, yung from, where, and then may special other keywords to specify the sorting. Tapos yung kung ilang records yung i-return niya. And then, meron ding special keyword like yung as. Tapos, yung as dito, pwedeng mawala, actually. Pero pwede mong gamitin para mas malinis lang yung query mo. To specify na magre-rename ka ng isang expression, pwedeng arithmetic operation, and i-rename mo siya, at ito yung magiging bagong name niya. And then, meron din tayong new keyword na na-introduce, like yung, ito nga, like. Tapos, may between, is null, is not null, na nilalagay sa predicate nung query. So, na-introduce din yung concept ng aggregation. Later on, papakita ko dito yung parang mas visual na itsura ng aggregation and gumagamit ng group by and having. And then, meron din tayong tinatawag na subqueries. Paano natin yan nagagawa? So, papakita ko din later on. And then, since we are dealing with set, yung mga set operations like union, intersection, and except, na counterpart nung nasa relational algebra natin ay merong counterpart na keywords para ma-implement or para ma-specify sa SQL na yun yung minimin natin kung gusto natin ng some processing. Okay? So, hindi lang itong two parts na to yung content ng SQL. In fact, may other parts pa. And yung two parts na yun ay involving transaction control. So, mostly, madidiscuss to during the mai-introduce to fourth week, and then sa week 12, mostly sa week 12. Kasi transaction management yung pag-uusapan natin doon. It will include additional keywords lang and paano gamitin yung mga keywords na yun. Pangalawa, yung embedded and dynamic SQL. And this is a component of SQL na nag-aalaw na i-embed mo yung SQL command mo sa loob ng mga other programming languages like C and Python. Embedded and dynamic SQL, important siya because SQL on its own ay hindi siya Turing complete. So, kailangan mong gumamit ng Turing complete language para maging powerful yung SQL plus something, or yung something na yon ay some Turing complete language. So, yun yung overview ng data manipulation language. And here are some slides lang to support yung mga concepts na na-introduce ko. A basic query ay may ganitong form. So parang selecting some attributes. Ito yung mga a sub 1, a sub 2, and a sub n. And then yung from dito, from which table? So r sub 1, r sub 2, and r sub n. Pwedeng multiple yan. Pero ang basic niyan ay isa lang. Kasi you select yung mga columns na to from this table. Pero if you append more tables dito, ang kino-complete mo yung cross product pala ng r sub I to r sub m. Tapos, of course, kapag nalagay mo na yung relation sa baba nito, pwede mo nang ma-project yung resulting table from the cross product ng mga attributes na member attributes ng mga relations na nandito sa baba. And then, you can filter yung cross product na yon using some condition, which is yung P. So, ang basic form nito ulit ay select some attributes from a table such that may certain condition ka. And then you can add additional specification like ano yung ordering ng mga records na yon. So, order by yung gagamitin natin na keyword and then merong sequence of attribute names and yung attribute names na yon ay may certain order na pina-follow. So, sort muna niya by A sub 1 and then sort niya by A sub 2 and so on. So, pwede mo ring ma-specify kung ilang records yung i-return niya. Kasi sometimes, hindi naman parang North Wind type ng database lang yung gagamitin natin. Soon, hindi lang ganun kaliliit yung database natin. So, it's important to limit yung i-return. Pero sa MySQL Workbench, naka-specify yan na 1,000 yung limit niya. So, kahit na hindi ka maglagay ng limit, nilagay yung nililimit to 1,000. Ayan. So, yun yung itsura ng isang basic query and then you can add additional keywords to specify some ordering and some number or yung cardinality ng i-return na content. Tapos, na-introduce dito yung concept ng like. Yung like naman is used specifically for search. Kunwari, meron kang table, tapos may gusto kang i-search na content, pero hindi ka naman necessarily sure dun sa name nung specific record na gusto mong kunin. So, ang ginagawa is to use yung like na command. And then, using yung like na command, you can use yung mga % and underscore to specify na, meron akong some character, may substring na hindi ko alam kung gaano kahaba dito sa left side ni dar. And then, some substring din na merong, hindi ko alam kung gaano kahaba na substring after ng dar. And then, if you wanted to specify na may some character na missing dito sa ano na to, and you know the format of, let's say, student number, ganyan, alam mo kung gaano kadaming characters, you can use yung underscore. Sometimes may mga strings na percentage yung actual na nakalagay. So, ayaw mo ma-confuse yun with your special keyword, special character na %. So, i-escape mo yung % doon. So, that's for the string comparison. Tapos, for the subqueries naman, katulad ng for loop, para meron ka ding loop, meron ka ring query within a query. Pero ang question mo, saan mo siya ipapasok? For nested subqueries, ipapasok mo yung itsura ng basic query mo sa loob ng r sub I na specify mo sa from. So, for example, meron kang select something, some attributes from a table na resulting from a query. So, ang laman ng r sub y mo dito is a query din. So, from close and open parentheses na sa loob siya, ng select from where type ng statement din. Kasi remember na ang result naman ng any query ay isang table lang din. You can think of the resulting query as another table. So, papalitan mo yung r sub I dito ng isang subquery din. And pwede kang magkaroon ng query within a query within a query. So, pwede mo siyang ipasok ulit dun sa from. Okay. May mga other types of subqueries pa na mention dun sa table, dun sa lecture slides natin. But for now, ito munang ganitong type ng subquery yung i-introduce natin. Okay. So, na-introduce yung concept ng aggregation. Ano ba to? If you're familiar with the pivot tables ng Excel or ng Google Sheet, parang ganun yun. And may special functions, aggregation functions na pagkuha ng average ng something, pagkuha ng minimum from something, from a list, or from a list of records, pagkuha ng max, sum, and count. So, ito usually yung gamit na types of aggregation functions. And ginagamit siya if you wanted to compute something out of the table. So, isang record lang yung nire-return to, which is the average of salary or the cardinality ng i-return na record, and so on. Pero kung i-combine natin siya sa additional functionality na group by, makakakuha tayo ng parang processed info from another table. So, yung input natin dito ay itong table lang naman na to. Tapos, after doing the aggregation and then using the group by keyword, nagkaroon ka ng new table na aggregated na or parang summary table from this table. So, sa lab natin, hindi pa tayo gumagamit ng aggregation, pero itong lab na to ay ma-encounter natin sa mga susunod pa na lab exercises. Pero kung may extra time kayo for week 3, you can try to use aggregation and group by functions. So, katulad nga nung nabanggit ko, meron tayong, we think of the records as a set of elements. So, we can use yung mga operations like intersection, union, and except. Pero, ang important to note ay dapat yung mga tables na tinatry natin i-intersect or i-union at i-accept ay compatible. So, recall nyo lang yung definition ulit ng compatible relations. So, dapat pareho sila ng cardinality ng attributes or yung column, dami ng column. And then, dapat yung data type nila ay pareho or compatible. So, yun yung preliminary na condition for you to apply yung set operation. Since we're dealing with sets, if you do yung A intersection B, you can think of yung A and B as queries ha. So parang itong query A na to will return a table, query B will return a table. So it's just a matter of using the keyword na intersection in between. Tapos ang resulting query nito ay yung intersection na nung A and B. And ganun din sa union and except. Since these are set operations, syempre, ang i-return to, mga distinct elements. But if you wanted to specify na, sige, kahit na may duplicate records yan, ilabas niya. Gamitin mo lang yung keyword na all. So, union all, intersection all, except all. Yan. So, yun yung overview ng week 3. And ito yung pointers or review natin. So, hindi muna natin pupuntahan masyado yung subqueries and aggregation and yung mga transaction control. Kasi may mga specific weeks tayo to deep dive yung mga topics na yun. So, yung mga highlighted dito, yung pointers for review for week 3.